Alright, what is up folks? So I'm here to do a follow-up video on interracial dating. So I got a lot of valuable feedbacks on my video on Monday, got a few hundred comments. I want to come back to this topic. It's very important to mention that I have been living in the West, I've been living in Canada for over 19 years now. I do agree that the vast majority of women living in Asia, they are still quite traditional and they prefer to marry a man of their own race and their own ethnicity. I just don't think this is true in the Western countries. For example, in Canada, in the United States, in countries like Australia, New Zealand, and possibly some other European countries. Many Asian women won't say this, but it's 100% true. They won't say it because they don't want to face the backlash. The vast majority of them prefer to date Western men. Maybe, yes, perhaps they will give Asian guys a chance, but basically you're the backup. You're the second or third option. So to put it in simpler terms, they like getting bleached. And if you're wondering what bleached means, well, I'm sure all of you guys have seen Blacked, right? So bleached is equivalent of Asian girls doing it with white guys. And there's one more topic about Asian men who would date and marry interracially. And I mentioned this before, and you can look up all the statistics. This is 100% true. So Asian male and white female pairing, this is the highest earning couples worldwide. And if you're wondering why this happens, I said it many times before. In terms of physical attractiveness, Asian men and the Indian men always land at the bottom. The only way for these guys to get a woman is their ability to provide financially. And obviously, the reason why this interracial pairing is the highest earning worldwide is not because of the woman. Men are always the breadwinners in their relationships, right? Women will not date down financially. Women will only marry and procreate with men who make more money than them. So unless you're a doctor, lawyer, engineer, scientist, successful entrepreneur, or if you have rich parents, your daddy bought you a car, your daddy bought you a house, then you can get a girl, then you can get married. With the exception of those conditions, it's on the verge of being impossible. I've also had many of these instances, for example, been previous cases where I'm 31 years old now, and there's these Asian women, they've rejected me in the past, and they turn into the town bicycle. They get completely ran through with a buffet of white cocks. Oh, no, I'm serious. From when they're 18 to, let's say, when they're 28 to 30, they have taken, let's say, maybe 35 white dicks, and then 3 black dicks, and a couple Mexicans, couple Indians, couple Middle Eastern. And when they're completely ran through and way past their prime, that none of these men actually want them, and then they come back 10 years later, then they DM me, they ask you, oh, are you still single? Like, ladies, are you absolutely out of your mind? This Western, this hookup culture, one-night stand situationship, it's completely cancer, and it has completely destroyed the concept of the nuclear family. Right, you're following the path of communism and socialism. This was literally written in the Communism Manifesto. Right, one of their 3 key objectives is to destroy the nuclear family. No, I'm just saying, imagine this. Even if the guys don't mind your body count, even if the guys don't mind your past, imagine on your wedding day, a couple of frat boys shows up, okay? And they go up to your man and says that, yo, dude, I used to your wife right up. We're talking about missionary. We're talking about bareback. She used to every single day. I used to on her face all the time. Okay? What do you think that does to your marriage? And once again, okay, I'm going to bring back Pew Research. I do agree that some of the data are extremely unreliable, and it's not their fault because all these numbers are self-reported. Right now in the United States, according to Pew Research, the average body count of a woman going to her first marriage, it's 5. Ladies, okay, let's not kidding ourselves. We all know that is a 100% bullshit lie, okay? I would say the actual body count of an average Western woman, okay, going into her first wedding day, is probably at least 3 times that. I would say it's at least 15, okay? And you wonder why you're not happy. You wonder why divorce rates are so high. Ladies, okay, the only weapon, the only leverage you have against the guy in a relationship and a marriage is your purity. You have to do everything you can to protect it. Okay, there's an old saying. So a key that can open up any lock, that is the master key. However, a lock that can be turned open by any key, that is a piece of shit lock. See, a guy becomes successful financially so he can provide to a woman, so he can get married. He becomes the master key that turns the lock, okay? Ladies, you have to become that lock that can only be turned by the master key. And you can't just turn into a doorknob at the entrance of the school where every single guy gets a turn as they walk in. because women control the sex. However, men control the commitment, men control the relationship, men control the marriage, and men control if he wants children or not. Okay, everything else is controlled by the man, and it's completely poisoned. And I see all these Western women what they're doing to themselves. This is why when you see these passport bros going to Asia and going to Latin America, they're all looking for 18 to 22-year-old virgins. Okay, what do you think they're looking for? Some 30-year-old single mom that's been completely ran through and past their prime? No. Men value youth, men value beauty, and men value purity. And honestly, in Western countries, it is almost impossible to find women like this. And I've said this before many times. My goal is to leave Canada within the next few years because there are very few good women left. And for the long term, I still think I want to find an Asian woman as a partner, because I just think that in general, Asian women are just way more traditional. If you go to Asia, you're much more likely to find a virgin, at least a woman with a lower body count. Perhaps she's had one or two exes, but in these Western countries, these women are completely doomed. I've seen some Western women in Canadian universities. By the end of their freshman year, they already have a body count into the triple digits. I'm really not making this up. I lived on dormitory for a full year, and it's unbelievable the crazy shit you see on campus. And not just the amount of sex and the orgies they're having. I'm talking about hardcore drugs. I'm talking about popping mollies, roofies, prison wallets, cocaine, heroin, and to some degree, even meth and fentanyl. And it is because of these things, all of these things, ladies, they will take a huge toll on you, both emotionally and physically. And the vast majority of white women, I would say over 90% of them, look absolutely terrible. I'm talking about like Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, Hillary Clinton, Rosie O'Donnell ugly, because of these decisions you made back when you're younger to sleep with an insane amount of men and popping out all of these hardcore drugs and consuming an extreme amount of alcohol into your body. It's a very sharp contrast when you look at the Asian woman. And many of them, they take good care of themselves. And many of these women in Asia, when you look at them, some of these 40-year-olds, they can still easily pass as 35 or 30. In some cases, possibly even 25 or 27. I'm gonna cap off the topic here. I will come back to this topic in the future. I will upload at least 2 videos next week, possibly 3. And we're coming up to Mother's Day. I have a very special message for my mom. Thank you guys so much for staying until the end.